What's up guys, my name's Brandon, and about a week after the release of iOS 14 Beta 7, Apple returns today with iOS 14 Beta 8 released to registered developers. And along with iOS 14 Beta 8, we got iPadOS 14 Beta 8, watchOS 7 Beta 8, and tvOS 14 Beta 8. And all of these updates should be available to public beta testers later today. I will update the description with the status of that release. So taking a look at the size of this update, you can see here it comes in just over 100 megabytes on my iPhone 11 Pro. And of course that size will vary depending on your device. It actually came in under 100 megabytes on my iPad Pro 2020 there. But this is Beta 8, so you can expect a very small update. So let's go ahead and check out the build number for this update. So settings, general, about 14. You can see there the build number is 18A5373A. So we do have an A at the end of the build number there, which indicates that the next version should be the GM build. This is probably the final beta before the GM, which of course the GM or Golden Master is the final beta, basically the final release for developers. They get it a week earlier than the public. And scrolling down to the modem firmware here for Beta 8 is unchanged. So it's been unchanged for the past couple of betas. So that's probably what we'll see for the final release, or maybe just another small update to the modem firmware there. So now what's new in iOS 14 Beta 8? And as you guys know, Beta 7 was the best beta so far, and it really didn't bring too many changes. And it's probably gonna be the same here for Beta 8. I mean, this is the 8th beta. At this point, Apple is just focusing mainly on bug fixes and stability and the battery and things like that. They're not really focused on bringing new features to the OS. So there's not really a lot of changes. The one thing I did notice is a slight change with widgets. So if we go to our widgets and then go down to the news widget right here, you will see that we get the today widget right here instead of topic first. So instead of being topic first and then today, in Beta 8, it got reverted back, and now it shows today first and then topic second. So just a little minor change. Of course, Apple will continue tweaking the widgets and the app library, which are the two brand new features here in iOS 14. So you can expect a lot of small changes like that for the coming versions of iOS 14, like 14.1, 14.2, and so on. There's going to be a lot of changes made to those in terms of stability and of course new features as well. But aside from that small change, I really didn't notice anything new so far. Now, of course, if I do find anything else new, I will make a follow-up video on Saturday, or I'm going to make that regardless, but I will mention those new features in that follow-up video on Saturday, which I do for every single iOS 14 beta. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you can see that. But again, aside from that, you're just going to see a lot of bug fixes, security enhancements, and things like that. Let's go ahead and talk about some of those additional bug fixes found here in Beta 8. So the first thing actually has to do with Safari and downloaded PDFs. So some people in Beta 7 and Beta 6 were reporting that downloaded PDFs would simply not display correctly inside of Safari, and now that has been fixed here in Beta 8. Also, one thing I mentioned in my last video is that the music widget seems to not update as frequently as I would like to, and I thought that was actually just an issue with Apple Music and their API and how it's kind of just a little bit behind. But here in Beta 8, I actually found that it changed almost instantly after I listened to this playlist or to a different song. So it seems like the music widget now updates the music quicker than it did in previous iOS 14 betas, which is nice because I've been talking about that a lot in my videos. I've also noticed that there aren't as many issues with third-party applications here in Beta 8, and this was actually in Beta 7 as well. I noticed this, but I would expect Beta 8 to build on top of that. So especially social media applications, like I had a lot of issues with Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and a lot of those were fixed in Beta 7, and I would expect more of them to be fixed here in Beta 8. So you can expect a lot more stability with third-party applications as we get closer to the GM and the final release. It seems like developers are now starting to update their applications even more in preparation of iOS 14. Now, I've experienced a couple of bugs inside of the Messages application in Beta 6 and Beta 7. So Beta 7 actually fixed some of the bugs in the Messages application, but I found two more bugs inside of Messages in Beta 7, and hopefully these are fixed in Beta 8. It's too early to tell yet, but I just want to mention these here in the video, and I will let you guys know if they've been fixed or not in my follow-up video coming on Saturday. So the first one, as you can see here, I actually reacted to a couple of different messages like back to back. So I did it pretty quickly within maybe 3 seconds of each other. But take a look at this. Instead of showing the second reaction, it just simply typed out laughed at an attachment. So instead of actually reacting, it just typed that out. Now, this could be because somebody was just, not having iMessage enabled at the time, or it could just be a bug. So I just wanted to mention it just in case it is a bug. But again, it could have very well just been an issue with somebody not having iMessage enabled at the time. But another bug that I noticed is that the text messages from the other person just completely disappeared at one point in time. So let me show you what I mean. So this was a text message conversation here, and I promise you I was not talking to myself. The other person's replies just completely disappeared when I went into messages, and I had to force close the application and pull it back up to get the replies to show up again. So for some reason, the other person's replies just completely disappeared, and it looked like I was just talking to myself the whole time. So that was also in beta 7. So hopefully both of those messages bugs do get fixed. Again, the first one could have just been a case of somebody not having iMessage enabled at the time, but still I've not had that previously in any iOS 14 beta before, so I did want to just mention it just in case. Now, I've also heard people saying that the Wi-Fi in the status bar does not disappear when they turn Wi-Fi off from the control center. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try that real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off and then go back, and you can see right there, it does show LTE for most people. You can see I have the dots right there, but some people are reporting that the Wi-Fi just stays there when they have Wi-Fi off. So the bars will just stay there. You can see mine did disappear, and it would show LTE if I had it enabled. And just to confirm, I will do it over here on my iPhone 11 Pro Max, which of course is on beta 7 right now. And that's where people were having the issue, but you can see there, I'm not having the issue. LTE shows up for me and Wi-Fi does not stay in there. So some people are experiencing that. So if you are having that, let me know down in the comment below. And also let me know if beta 8 does fix that bug for you. And then another thing I wanted to mention is that in my beta 7 video, a lot of people thought that there was a bug in the software because these applications would switch, like the icons would switch, or they would kind of shift around on their own. And that is not a bug. This is actually the Siri suggestions widget, as you can see right there. And it will change these applications around throughout the day, which is really convenient and really nice. And of course you can see it in real time, which is why some people thought that it was a bug, but it is definitely not a bug. That is just the new Siri suggestions widgets. But aside from those things, there's really not too much else going on here with beta 8. Again, it is just a 100 megabyte update, so you really can't expect too much. So I'm sure coming into this video, you weren't expecting much anyways. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the performance here in beta 8. And so far, beta 8 feels awesome. I mean, it feels just like beta 7 did, which beta 7 was of course the best beta yet. I've only been using this for about an hour now, so I can't tell exactly, everything about the performance yet, but I will talk about that in my follow-up video on Saturday. But so far, everything feels great. And I did also run a Geekbench test. Let me show you that. So you can see there that the single core score is the exact same as beta 7 at 1335, but the multi-core score is slightly higher at 3492 versus 3368 on beta 7. Now, of course, these Geekbench scores don't tell you the full story. And of course, I will tell you guys more about the performance in terms of day-to-day usage and actually using social media apps and things like that in my follow-up video on Saturday. Now, as far as the battery life goes, it's gonna be the same with battery life as well. I'm not gonna be able to tell until the weekend, but I will expect this to be pretty much exactly the same as beta 7. Now, there could be slight tweaks to this, but a lot of people saw great improvements to the battery life with both beta 6 and beta 7. So I would not expect a big difference in beta 8. Since it seems like Apple did fix a lot of the battery issues with those two betas, I would expect this to just be a little bit more of a refinement to the battery. So you may see slightly better battery life here, but I wouldn't expect anything substantial. So now when can we expect the next beta? So the next beta is going to be the GM build, most likely beta 9 or the GM build, which of course is the final iOS 14 release, which is released to developers early. So we can expect to see that next week, the week of the 14th, and it's most likely to come on the 15th because September 15th is when Apple is holding their September event where they will unveil the new iPad and the new Apple Watch and possibly other products as well. So we could expect to see iOS 14 GM be released after that event. And of course, the final iOS 14 release to the public, either the week of the 21st or the week of the 28th, with the 22nd being the most likely date. But Apple has done crazy things, so I don't want to rule out a release on the week of the 28th, the final week of September. And by the way, I will be going live during Apple's special event on September 15th, where they will be unveiling that new iPad and Apple Watch. I will be streaming here on YouTube, so make sure you guys are subscribed with that bell notification clicked so you do get notified when I go live. That will be a virtual event, but I do want to react to it live with you guys like I always do with these events. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for iOS 14 Beta 8. Really not a lot to talk about here. It was a very small update, but you guys know I like to keep you informed no matter how big or small the update is. So if you guys found anything additional that I did not cover in this video, let me know down in a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you guys in that follow-up video coming on Saturday. And of course, I can't wait for that event next week. And if you guys enjoy this video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up, and also make sure you guys do subscribe so you don't miss my future iOS 14 coverage, along with that live stream when Apple unveils their new products next week. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.